A careless mistake could provoke a north-south war in the 12 cities of Yunzhou. By joining hands in this way, we can consolidate ourselves and ride out the storm together. Okay, that's it. Yi Qingsong got up and smiled, grabbing Song Snap's arm. Come with me, virtuous son-in-law, and I'll take you to meet your lady. The Song Snapdragon was still in a daze. No, how come you've had 2 and 3 years? I just came over to accompany my cousin to watch the martial arts competition. How come I'm still directly married off? Mu Yunlan looked at Song Snapdragon as he turned around and came over, and immediately waved his hand and laughed. Cousin, there's no need to thank me, this is all what I should do. I wish you all happiness. In his last life, the Song family perished and Song Snap didn't have a wife. How could Yi Wuxuan be considered a good match? Mu Yunlan picked up the little monkey and gave it a kiss, saying joyfully, I've done another good thing, finished with another exclamation. Who would have thought that I would be a good person? Lu Xiang, huh? Are you a good person? Who said that? Thanks for the support. End of chapter. Chapter 21, This Marriage of Yours, wrapped up. Requests for follow-up reading. Chapter 21, This Marriage of Yours, wrapped up. Requests for follow-up reading. Chapter 21, This Marriage of Yours, wrapped up. Requests for follow-up reading. After Song Snap saw Yi Wuxuan with his own eyes, his heart, which was originally a bit resistant, was directly shaken. He would have been a sincere gentleman, and Yi Wuxuan was so forthright and heroic, exactly what he had in mind for his wife. On Yi Wuxuan's side, since she had promised the clan that she could recruit a flunky into the family, that's being prepared to break the bank. The expectations in his heart were already very low, and then Song Snapdragon suddenly appeared as a good man who was excellent in every aspect. She is also more than satisfied. Seeing Yi Qingsong directly naming Yi Wuxuan and Song Snapdragon to go within another room to talk alone, the other 4 people to be chosen all revealed rather nervous expressions, especially Huang Tianyao. His target was Yi Wuxuan, because Yi Wuxuan was the eldest sister, and becoming her son-in-law would be the most helpful in ruling the Yi family in the future. Huang Tianyao was not a person who was willing to be subjugated to others. His goal in choosing to join the Yi family was clear. It was to use the Yi family as his booster, to become strong and control the Yi family, and those who made him feel humiliated, even if they had helped him even more, he would retaliate back one by one. As for the people who are hindering his progress, for example, now out of nowhere, Song Snap, that's what makes him an absolute hater. Yi Wuxuan was already hopeless. Huang Tianyao looked towards Yi Tianmai and took the initiative to step forward. My lady, please forgive me for my offense. I just couldn't really restrain the emotions inside of me, and the first moment I saw you, I felt like I had met the person I wanted to protect the most in my life. Please give me a chance to pamper you. I will give you all my tenderness and affection. People need to learn to express themselves. At this time, the other 3 were all dumbfounded. We're all casual beastmasters who have been wandering around for years. How come you're opening your mouth with this love talk? Passerby A and Passerby B were in a hurry. This view is even worse. Yi Tianmai had also never been treated so warmly by a man. Her face was a blush and she didn't know what to do. It was at this moment that a light voice came. Is there really such a person? I'd be curious. Mak Yunlan walked over from the back with the little monkey in her arms. Yi Tianmai asked suspiciously. Sister, you are? Makunaga said with a smile. I'm the eldest Miss Mu Yunlan of the Mu family of Spirit Market City, and the one who just went in to whisper with your big sister is my cousin. Huang Tianyao couldn't help but feel joy in his heart at his words. The Mu family could be too powerful than the Yi family, which had already fallen, while the Mu family was still as strong as ever. If this big miss of the Mu family was interested in herself, being able to marry such a woman would definitely be a greater help to her. Huang Tianwu didn't know about the Yi family having a Yuan Dan, just judging from the family lineage. Relatively speaking, the second miss of the family's defeated Yi family naturally could not be compared to the first miss of the pastor's family in its heyday. However, Huang Tianya would not be so foolish as to directly change his family. Instead, he continued to feign deep emotion and spoke. I fell in love with Miss Yi Tianmai at first sight. I just hope she can be happy. Even if she doesn't choose me, I will still fight harder for her until he sees how good I am. With this statement, he is giving himself a chance to change the object of his flattery. It's possible to maintain the persona of being affectionate and sincere while still choosing someone else after being rejected by Yi Tianmai. A purple light suddenly flashed within Mak Yunlan's eyes. She looked at Huang Tianyu and asked again, "Oh, what would you do if you became the son-in-law of the Yi family or became the son-in-law of the Mu family?" Huang Tianyao blurted out, "If I become the son-in-law of the Yi family, I'll look for a chance to get rid of Yi Wuxuan and Song Snapdragon, take complete control of the Yi family, and utilize the Yi family's power to help me become a sentinel beast king. It would be even better if he could become the son-in-law of the Mu family. The Mu family can be too much more powerful than the Yi family. I can directly utilize the power of the Mu family to develop my own forces. First joining forces with the Mu family to get rid of the other two families in Spirit Market City, and then annexing the Mu family. These words came out in a rush. Everyone in the room froze, including Huang Tianyao himself. He didn't understand why he was suddenly saying everything that was on his mind. Hastily, he denied it in a panic. No, none of this is true of me. Mak Yunlan then said with a cold face. Ms. Yi, I don't know what your Yi family does with such schemers, but in the Mu family, it's burying them in the dirt. Hearing Mak Yunlan's words, Huang Tianyu suddenly thought of the purple light he had vaguely seen just now. He exclaimed anxiously, Miss Yi, just now I was caught in her evil spell. She must be because she likes me too much, seeing that I'm in love with you, and when she can't have me, she wants to destroy it. You've got to believe me, Yi Tianmai is not a cutie pie. It was indeed perverse for Huang Tianyao to say those words just now, and it was definitely not something he wanted to say on his own. But the great lady of the Makoto family would hate someone she met for the first time out of love. That would be total bull *********. Mak Yunlan might have really used some means, but its effect should just be to make him speak from his heart. Come on man, Yi Tianmai shouted loudly. Seeing this scene, Huang Tianyao reacted very quickly and directly turned around and ran. After so many years of wandering, he relied on this ability to escape. Mak Yunlan didn't make a move. The Yi family Yuan Dan was stolen, and at this time, the entire Frostleaf City was on lockdown. Huang Tianyu had trouble trying to run out of this street. As expected, a few moments later, Huang Tianyao was captured, and at this point, the process of choosing a son-in-law is complete. Yi Tianmai still chose Su Ziming as her husband. After Song Snap and Yi Wushhuang exchanged some words, they were also very satisfied with this Yi family's eldest miss, promising to report back to the family immediately after returning. He asked the family to send someone to Frostleaf City to propose marriage. Before leaving, Mu Yunlan purposely asked Lu Zheng to confirm it. Huang Tianwu has been killed, the kind where your head falls off. Among the 12 cities of Yunzhou, the big families of each main city were the absolute power. This is the kind of threat that will never be softened when discovered. The Yi family was still checking all the outsiders in Frostleaf City one by one. However, it never occurred to them that the person who stole the Yuan Dan was one of the two people they had sent back to Skycloud City specifically. Mak Yunlan was still able to keep his composure. However, once he thought that as long as he allowed the six-eared macaque to absorb this Yuan Dan, he would be able to fully crush Feng Jiuxiao. She then couldn't help but let out a jie laugh. This caused Song Snap to shiver. Then rather helplessly, cousin, even if I let you succeed in your scheme this time, you don't have to be so happy, do you? Also, with that laugh, you sound like a villain. Mak Yunlan put away her smile and glared at him. I'm letting you hold a beautiful woman, and you're talking about me. If it weren't for me, this daughter-in-law of yours would have gone to someone else. Song Snap said with a nod. Wushhuang is indeed a good match. Thank you for this time. It's just that, how should I go back and tell the clan about this matter? I'm afraid my marriage is not something I can decide on my own. Mak Yunlan waved his hand and said, Grandpa's so savvy, surely he can figure out the joints. Don't worry, this marriage of yours, it's a done deal. Thanks for the support. End of chapter. Chapter 22, Why don't you put clothes on it? Begging for a follow-up? Chapter 22, Why don't you put clothes on it? Begging for a follow-up? Chapter 22, Why don't you put clothes on it? Begging for a follow-up? Return to the Song family. Mak Yunlan recounted the whole story. Song elder Song Yuandong jumped out once again. What nonsense! A family marriage is not a decision for juniors like you to make? Or take part in some contest to be a flunky? Where is the face of my Song family? Not waiting for Song Yuanxiu to speak out in defense of his son. Just then, he heard the old family head, Song Tianran, open his mouth. Well, although it was a bit abrupt for Yunlan to do this, it is indeed a good marriage. Boss, go set it up. Set the date as soon as possible. Then let Song Snap marry the girl. Better yet, let me have my great-grandchildren next year. Mu Yunlan gave the old man a thumbs up. Grandpa thinks long-term. Natural Song glared at her and scolded her with a laugh. You little girl. This time, no matter what, the first cut is wrong first. You are punished 10 days or not allowed to go out. Grounded at home to cultivate. Quickly go. Song Yuandong was speechless for a while when he saw this scene. What kind of punishment is that? Originally, this girl would have to concentrate on her cultivation and prepare for the next 100 Treasure Mountain secret trial. The old man really favors the unabashed. With permission, Mu Yunlan directly left and returned within his own small courtyard. She first took out 24 spirit crystals and set up a formation. Only then did he take out the Yuan Dan. Little six ears, come over here. I'll channel the spiritual energy for you, and you'll transform it into yourself. If it was a 9th stage beast spirit realm spirit beast, it could directly swallow this Yuan Dan to use for a breakthrough, because of its ability to withstand this majestic energy. However, Lu Zhang, who was only at the 9th level of the second order, was clearly unable to do so. That was why Mu Yunlan was needed to guide the spiritual energy so that Lu Zhang could absorb it. Quite a bit of energy is wasted in this process, but it doesn't matter. Mu Yunlan's expectations for this Yuan Dan were limited to just helping Lu Zhang step into the 3rd stage. As for what level it will get him to in the end, one step at a time, Lu Zhang sniffed and immediately complied. Obediently, he sat cross-legged on Mu Yunlan's lap, his tiny body leaning against Mu Yunlan's abdomen. The head is just right for what's up there. Mu Yunlan held the Yuan Dan in one hand and pressed one hand against the little monkey's stomach. Running the channeling technique, a stream of spiritual energy surged through her body and into Lu Zhang's body. Lu Zhang quickly absorbed it, but some of it still escapes. He didn't care about that either. As a spirit pet, the matter of wasting resources was not something that needed to be cared about. That's for the sentinel to consider. All he needed to do was eat well, drink well, and practice hard. 1 hour later, a powerful aura emerged from Lu Zhang's body. However, it was blocked by the formation and did not escape. It's a breakthrough. 3rd order 1. Mu Yunlan put away the Yuan Dan and did not conduct any more spiritual energy, allowing Lu Zhang to stabilize his current cultivation level. When Lu Zhang finished stabilizing, Mu Yunlan couldn't wait to ask, Little six ears, have you acquired any new natural skills? The higher the quality of the spirit pet, the more natural abilities it usually has. Unless it was a foreign beast like the phaseless beast, which only had 1 or 2 skills, but was nonetheless strong enough to exert extreme combat power. And Mu Yunlan had great expectations for Lu Zhang, despite already having Shimi Wanfa and Dharma Heaven and Earth, 2 skills that were enough to be called divine skills. She still wished that she could have more. Woman, your eyes are full of greed. Lu Zhang couldn't help but take a few steps back as he looked at Mu Yunlan's glowing eyes. It always felt like she was going to pick herself up and smother her chest the next second. Yes, see for yourself. Lu Zhang shared the talent information to Mu Yunlan. Talent, incarnation effects, consume half of one's own spiritual energy to create an incarnation. Incarnation has half of the body's spiritual energy cultivation and masters the same skills. Incarnation exists forever unless the body dies or is destroyed or recalled. If the incarnation is recalled, the incarnation's value of spiritual energy is immediately restored. The total number of incarnations is capped at 49 talent. Wow, that was awesome. Excitedly, Mak Yunlan took the little monkey in her arms and squeezed it hard. Lu Zhang was helpless and gave up resisting. He had already activated the earthly escape technique just now to try to hide underground. But nay, Mak Yunlan's speed was too fast. Her cultivation level was much higher and she had also mastered many arts. There was no way one could escape her clutches. Lu Zhang was also very satisfied with his newly acquired abilities. With sufficient spiritual power, it was equivalent to creating 49 beaters with all of their skills, at the same level but with half the spiritual power. One person can also do a group beating. Lu Zhang loved this feeling of being able to fully suppress his opponent. And, in the future, something as dangerous as stealing. It's perfectly fine to leave it to the incarnation. This undoubtedly increased his survival rate by Mak Yunlan's side. Who knows what dangerous things this woman will ask him to do again in the future. It's just a shame that avatars can't practice. Otherwise it's perfectly fine to just lay flat. Half a dozen times later, Mak Yunlan, who had been laughing strangely for a while, finally returned to normal. By the way, it just so happens that you've also gained the ability of the phaseless beast. Quickly try to use these 2 skills in combination into something else. Lu Zhang asked. Change what? Mak Yunlan said casually. Turn into a human. You're the most sure of it. As soon as her words fell, she saw another small monkey appear before her eyes. And then the next moment, there was one more identical version of himself in front of him. Mu Yunlan was first confused, then hurriedly went forward and took out a robe to cover him. At the same time, her face blushed with irritation. Ah, little six ears. It's not even if you turn into me. Why don't you put clothes on it? Lu Zhang said awkwardly. I gave it a miss. Not really.